Hello everyone, and welcome to your daily December download, and it's 10:30, so I have an hour and 30 minutes to come up with a video idea, and luckily, I just finished Sonic Dream Team a few hours ago. We are in a very good spot with Sonic right now, so yeah, sorry to spoil it, but yeah, I enjoyed the game. Let's get over the stuff that I didn't like as much, because it's not perfect or anything. Unlike a lot of people who were like, oh my god, it's Adventure 3. Oh my god, I can't believe Adventure 3's locked the phones. It's not Adventure 3. Let's be so for real. It's closer to like it's closer to a 3D sequel to Sonic Advance 2 more than anything else. But what it does have is boost levels that are open and have fun platforming and challenges. While simplified, it is some of the best 3D platforming the series has produced outside of the extra Frontiers content. And this is just the whole game. While I do not like that I can't stomp and stuff, you know, that really messes up my whole flow. And I think the homing attack goes a little too far, like it stretches. I know why it does that, so it's easy to pull off, so, you know, people on touch controls can play the game and not feel like they're overextending themselves. By the way, the game controls really well on touchscreen. I played it on my phone for the first time, and I even played a little bit now. It's actually really good, just even without a controller. I did play it with my PS5 DualSense for a majority of the campaign, and it was very, very fun. It's only 2 buttons, and a left stick and a right stick, but it is an incredibly fun, simple game. But the key word there is simple. It's not super complex, but it doesn't need to be. It boils down... it's like a good combination between adventure and boost. I guess I'm going back to positives. I didn't have that much negative to say. I just I just wanted to get some things out of the way. The boost is very different than how it is normally. You don't get it from rings and you don't get it from Wish. You get it from these electric things when you're running. And also, the boost is not a hold. While you can hold it, it more is a burst. If you press it, you'll go off for a while. And I know why, so you could boost and then jump on mobile devices without it being that big of a deal. So you actually do have to be kind of careful, because you can't boost cancel, because you can't slide. So when you start boosting, you're kind of locked into that for a while, and I know that can bother some people, but it didn't really bother me that much, because I understood where the design philosophy came from. But this game's strength, all in all, is the... Oh no, wait, there was one thing that I did forget before we get into me just gushing the full way, because I actually am going to gush. Voice acting is not good, at least Rouge and Cream. I talked about this previously in the last video, but... Rouge and Cream sound terrible. Cream, and at first I thought they were new voices, but it's the same voice actresses from Gens. And, you know, I never loved Rouge's voice, but she sounds way worse now. Now she sounds like this. Which is like, what are you doing? What are we doing? And then Cream, Michelle Ruff is a great voice actor. I love Michelle Ruff. She was not cooking in that booth. Whatever. Never let her back in the booth with that voice again. Whoever was the voice director for the game, please never allow that to happen again. That was really bad. Cream's first appearance in a decade, and it was this. She was good in the story, which is fine. It's a mobile game story. Like, it was engaging to a certain degree. I like the character interactions. There were some cute little moments here and there. It's mostly the characters standing in a empty void for most of it, because, you know, they're not good. But when they did actually animate the cutscenes, a lot of the cutscenes are higher budgeted than not higher budgeted, more like higher talented than a lot of current Sonic animation. I do think Frontiers was a step up in animation quality for this franchise. I think it's serviceable. I think it's fine. It could be better, but it's not like anything it's not bad. It's just okay. And the animation here was really good. Barring some later scenes in the final boss, I think everything here was like pretty top notch. And let me just get into the level design. I love the level design in this game. A lot of people are making a lot of assumptions, especially those who can't play it, that the game is not very layered from the first level, because the first levels in general are pretty simple. Because they have to be. They're the start of the fucking game. Sonic fans expect everything to be super complex from day one for some reason, forgetting that the first level of a Sonic game is going to be the simplest level in a Sonic game. SA2 has City Escape, where you run in a straight line the whole level. Sonic Generations is pretty linear in its first level. Sonic 2, the first level's 20 seconds. So is Green Hill. Green Hill is actually more layered than your average first Sonic level, and so is Angel Island, but like Sonic 2, everyone's favorite, is kind of hold the right to win. But yeah, no, the first levels are easy. Yeah, the whole game is relatively easy. There are some bits that are a little challenging and did require me to actually like really pay attention and lock in, but the game is not the hardest in the world, nor is it trying to be, which is fine. It's a phone game for children, and that older Sonic fans can also enjoy. It's almost like this franchise is for everyone. But yeah, the level design is very, very layered as it goes on. It doesn't start off that way, but it gets that way. And once you become able to switch characters, you can't switch them on the fly, which sucks a little bit. I understand why they probably didn't do that. They didn't want it to be broken. But I think that's something that they should definitely carry into the next Sonic games if they really want to keep this formula up. Is if they want to bring this formula back, and if they want to bring multiple playable characters like they did in Frontiers, I think they should actually have ability to switch between all the main characters back to back to back to back to back. It's actually sounds like a great idea in my opinion, and I hope they actually do something like that in the future. It would be like Sonic Heroes, but good. Also, that now I'm thinking about it reminds me of the Sonic Adventure 3 leak when I was a kid back in 2013. That was actually like the bit of the game is that like, oh, there's different pathways. But this is Sonic Adventure 3. Holy shit, I'm joking. This game leaked back in 2013. But no, the game's level design is its best aspect. I think once you especially get to level 3, World 3, the maze, like where the jungle maze, that level is very intricate in how you explore it. There's a lot of layers and there's a lot of areas in it, and there's a lot. I actually kind of want to go back and play it again and see what stuff that I missed. The Ego Empire levels were pretty fun, and I'm not gonna kid you, the final boss, it's kind of everything I've wanted from a Sonic game. And let me explain. Spoilers from here on out for those who don't want spoilers. I'm not gonna show footage, but I'll be talking about the end of the game. By the way, footage is not from me, as you can see right there. Sonic went blue. I just think I should verbally acknowledge it, just in case. The final boss is everything I've kind of wanted from a Sonic final boss since I was a kid, and especially as I got older. Before Frontiers came out, I kind of had like this image in my head of like, man, how is this game gonna end? How are we gonna wrap it up? Oh man, what if you free Sonic, Tails, you free Tails, Amy, and Knuckles, and then they help you like fight towards the boss, and like you get to team up with them for a little bit, or you get to play as them. That would be cool. And you run toward and you're running towards the boss, defeating enemies, dodging attacks, and getting forward and pushing each other forward to the goal of getting to the boss, so then you could beat it. That was like my literal fan pie in the sky fan ideas that I would have when I'd be listening to anime music and thinking like, oh bro, dude, Frontiers. I think that was the summer the summer of Frontiers, yeah, I distinctly remember driving to my girlfriend's house while imagining this in my head. Very specific memory, very specific. I know, weird. I remember things weirdly. I remember things by what I was doing at the time, not just the thing itself. Yeah, no, so it's been an idea that's been in my head for a while, but like I really started fantasizing when it was Frontiers. And while Frontiers' ending initially was serviceable, I do like the moon shoot 'em up thing. I didn't mind that. It was a good enough challenge, and I was pretty satisfied with the story. It wasn't what I had mentally in my head, but this game does it. And when that happened, I was kind of like waddling between like a 7 and an 8 out of 10 for this game. I was like, this is really good. This is really solid. This is really good. I don't know if it's gonna stick with me at all. Like I think I'm having a great time playing it. I have a smile on my face. I'm locked in. I'm engaged. But I don't know if this is going to be something that's gonna last in my brain for me, because the story was pretty okay, but a little shallow. I liked the dialogue. Didn't like the voices, you know. But so, like, there wasn't much that was sticking out for me on that front. But when that happened, I was like, all right, now this game's locked in. And I know that's really simple, but, like, that's what guaranteed it the 8 out of 10 for me. That, like it was already leaning towards the 8, but that's what, like, made it, like, high 8. Like, oh, it's not fluctuating back down unless I, like, drastically change my standards for games. And I think that's about as the best outcome I can imagine for this game. Is it coming out as an 8 out of 10 Sonic game? And I'm not even grading it like on a mobile scale. I was just grading it as a game. As a mobile game, this is one of the best mobile games ever made. Let's be so for real. Like, it is the most, also, just like the title says, this is the most polished Sonic game I've played since Lost World. This game is insanely detailed. There's not a lot of... I didn't run into, like, any bugs at all the whole time. I think at worst the game crashed, but that's because I'm playing this on an iPhone 12. And, like, the game would sometimes crash if you're moving too fast or I get some frame stutters. But, like, if I'm in, like, my phone's cool, I have it in a good environment, and it's charging while I'm playing the game with a controller, the game runs great at a pretty good locked 60 FPS with occasional frame drops, and again, visually it looks clean. Everything about it has this sheen of polish that Sonic games don't usually get, especially with Frontiers, which could have used that like extra sheen of polish. I'm glad this game got it. Now, can we just do that everywhere else? And there's also people saying like, oh yeah, now we need to get Hardlight to make console Sonic games. And while I do think they should get a shot at one, you know, maybe they could become our new Dimps, I also still want the mobile division to be able to come out with games like this, because I don't think people realize how big Sonic is on mobile. Sonic Dash is huge. Sonic Force's Speed Battle, while not as huge as Sonic Dash, is still huge. There's a huge market for Sonic on mobile, so if he starts getting quality mobile games like this, on top of the, you know, the quality, simple mobile games that he has been getting, because Sonic Force's Speed Battle is good, Runners was good, it was just short-lived, and Sonic Dash is a classic. Sonic Dash 2 is also good, just no one plays it. I do think that there's a huge base on mobile that Sonic can keep tapping into, but I do want these people to make this stuff on console, and also do I want this game ported to the consoles? Yes, but I think people need to be ready for it to not feel like a console game all the way because of how simple it is, because, you know, limited controls. Maybe they'll add some features or some modes if they ever port it to consoles because they could use more buttons, but the game only uses 2 buttons, jump and homing attack. And the homing attack button is also the boost button unless you change it. There's 2 buttons. There's not a lot of complication going on here, and the game is built around that lack of complication, so it doesn't really ever get in the way. But it will feel a little bit weird playing it on a TV, but it is so good that it does deserve to be a game that we can buy on our consoles as on a Switch or PS5 or porting it to PC. Or I think if Apple is nice, which they aren't, it might happen. Or if Sega didn't sign a perma exclusivity deal, it might happen, but highly unlikely. But still, great game all around. I had fun time playing it the whole time. Level design was the best part. The controls were second best part. And I think I'll keep playing it. I'll keep up with the Tales daily challenges, see what's up with those, and see what this game has in store for the future, because they said they're going to have future updates. I'm going to be keeping tabs on this game. Hopefully when people get Apple devices that they can play the game on, they can also keep tabs on it. I'm sorry, keep rubbing salt in the wound. I'm tired. I need to go to bed. I'm gonna wrap this up. This is a short discussion just by myself talking about a Sonic game. And sorry, I got interrupted. I was saying, yeah, I gotta go to bed. Gotta edit this quickly. Quickly chop it up, upload it, get it out the door before the end of the day. I got, what time? Whew, I got an hour and 10 minutes. Can I make it? Well, if you see the video up, then you'll know. See you tomorrow.